Summer 2016 was such a great summer. The music was great. Pokemon Go was going crazy, and I never played it, but it was cool energy to just be out, seeing people do something like that. It was also such cutting edge technology at the time, like that augmented reality. It was really neat, dude. It was really cool. It was just at the start of that like 90s nostalgia coming back, and Pokemon coming back was really neat at the time. And it was cool just to communally do something. Humans love that. I love that. I'm a human, if you haven't heard. But summer 2016, there was something really special. You think about just how, I think throughout history, throughout time, the times that we think are the most special are the hyper-specific times. Like, I think we're going to think the pandemic was special. I think that in 20 years, you're going to see college parties of kids that were children, adolescents, early adolescents during the pandemic, and they'll have pandemic parties where they wear masks. They play like TikTok hits. They'll play like Mood by 24K Golden. They'll play like little Mosey songs. They'll do those classic TikTok dances. I bet TikTok stars are going to do, they won't be branded like this, but like pandemic era nostalgia tours, that sort of thing. Because it was such a hyper specific time. So you can like really experience it versus other times throughout our lives. Like they're not that hyper specific. 2016 is very hyper specific. It's like fidget spinners. It's like Chance the Rapper. It's Drake Views. It's Rihanna Anti. It's Pokemon Go. It's Lil Yachty. It's Kanye West, Life of Pablo. It's like those Adidas shoes getting cool. Remember Adidas NMDs? It's that whole aesthetic. 2016 was an amazing time, dude. It really was like an amazing time. And it, not to get political, but it's interesting that we all have these great memories right before this whole new era of politics with Donald Trump and everything that followed Donald Trump in the United States. It's interesting that what we're romanticizing is right before that big change. And I find myself as a millennial, I do that with 2001, where I really romanticize like the movies that came out in early 2001, the music that came out in early 2001, because a real disruptive moment in my lifetime was 9/11. I grew up in New Jersey. I had friends that lost parents in the attacks of 9/11. And to me, that's just a huge dividing line in my life. If life feels different. When I think about before 9/11 and after 9/11, it's completely different. People are going to feel that way about the pandemic. I feel that way about the pandemic. I feel that way about before and after Donald Trump became president, because politics became a different thing after that. They were a different thing before that. I also romanticize a little bit like 1999. I was really little, but like that was pre-internet, pre-millennium. It's interesting we do that. That might be part of the sauce of 2016. Justin Bieber 2016 was great. And honestly, on the topic of that, before we get back to the summer that did not have a song, on the topic of 2016, we need new sounds. Music doesn't have enough new sounds. We have new artists, and I'm not saying that they're not great. Benson Boone, very catchy. Love the backflips. I hope he eventually stops doing them for his own sake. Just odds, one of them is going to go bad. God forbid. But I hope he does. I hope he stops doing them soon for his own safety. He is very athletic, though, clearly. But Benson Boone is just doing Queen, right? And that's not taking anything away from him. But there's a precedent for that sound, what Benson Boone is doing. You could play a guy in 1978, Benson Boone, time travel, and he'd get it, right? He'd understand it. It's not that crazy of a concept. Teddy Swims is doing great soul music. It's not new, though. Beautiful voice. Lose Control, classic, all-time song, forever song. The new song Teddy just released is beautiful today, but it's not new. You think about even Charlie XCX, Brat. A lot of indie sleaze influence in there. A lot of things. Think about Guess with Billy. It's basically Benny Benassi, Satisfaction. It's a great song. Love that song. It's not a new sound. So you go down the list, and even Alex Warren, Ordinary, that sounds like a Hozier song. And I bet most people think Hozier sings that song. There's not a lot of new sounds in music. We need new sounds in music. It's important. Culturally, it's important. If you go back, you think about 2015, Jack U. Bro, Jack U was so effing crazy when you first heard that. It was insane. People didn't even know what that sound was. They called it the dolphin sound on Where Are You Now? And the New York Times did an interview with Diplo and Skrillex, and they had to show the New York Times how they made music on their laptop, which was a crazy idea at the time, and how they would distort and degrade Justin Bieber's vocal to a point where it would sound like a dolphin squealing, and they would sample Justin Bieber's vocal from the same song that you're listening to, but in a different way for one of the hooks, quote unquote, of that song. Do you know how new a sound has to be where you have to explain it to people? People are so dumbfounded by what they're hearing. They're going, what is that? How did you do that? I don't know an instrument that does that. What is that sound? I remember Kiara. You remember Kiara? Feels? What was the other Kiara song? But that sort of chopped up vocal was really interesting at the time. I'd never heard that. You remember Muramasa? Oh my God. So good. So good. Look up these people, by the way, if you don't know who I'm talking about. Even popular artists at the time. Drake 2016 sounds different than Drake 2013. Views sounds different than Nothing Was the Same. Sounds different than More Life. Justin Bieber Purpose sounds different than the Boyfriend record. What's the Boyfriend record he did? Whatever that one's called. Sorry, Justin. Artists used to level up and change their sound. And I think that was good. I think that was a good